Chicken and potatoes is one of the simplest, most affordable meals in the world. These two simple ingredients can be found on dinner tables all across America. Come join me for Sunday dinner as I share my recipe for perfectly baked chicken, easy garlic mashed potatoes, and green beans packed with flavor. Let's get it done. To get started, you want to grab a good cut of chicken. I got some halal-friendly bone-in chicken thighs that are ethically sourced and treated with care. Bone-in chicken also locks in a lot of flavor, so I'd recommend it for this particular recipe. Now this is a pack of 6 chicken thighs, and we're going to hit that with some light oil. This will help the seasonings that we're going to add stick to the chicken and really penetrate to the bone with flavor. I've got some of my brown sugar smoked seasoning from my good friends at Station 1923. It's a black woman-owned seasoning brand that easily adds sweetness and smokiness to any dish. Check the link in the description to place an order and support a great company that makes a great product. Plus it's low in sodium, so add as much as you like. Next, you're going to add some garlic powder, and of course you can't have a dish that has garlic powder without adding its first cousin, onion powder. Add as much cayenne pepper as you like, depending on your spice tolerance, and then finish it off with some smoked paprika. And I added a little more of the brown sugar smoked seasoning just because. And we're going to give this a nice mix until it's well combined. Now, as always, if you want the full recipe to this plus 70 of my easy to make recipes, check out the description for the link to my recipe on my website. Make sure you get all that seasoning into the skin as well. We're going to let this marinate for about an hour, but overnight is for the best results. Transfer this to an oven-safe dish, and if you like, add a little bit more of that brown sugar seasoning. Place this in the oven at 375 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes or until it reaches an internal temperature of 167 degrees. While that chicken bakes, let's get our potatoes made. For this recipe, I'm using red potatoes, which you can use any potato that you like. But since I'm making mashed potatoes with these, I'd recommend using red for the usage of their skins. Make sure that you wash and scrub your potatoes too, as these potatoes are often dirty when you get them from the grocery store, and it's best to clean them up prior to use. I have a vegetable brush that I utilize along with some running water, and that's going to get the job done. This is about 8 potatoes, and I'm not sure what the equivalent of that is to a food scale, so just go with 8. Now once those potatoes are nice and clean, cut them into quarters just like this so that they'll cook evenly. Potatoes tend to brown rather quickly due to the process of oxidation. Oxidation occurs as a food chemical reaction where food molecules such as fats, vitamins, and pigments lose electrons when they interact with oxygen. This process changes the taste, color, smell, and nutritional value of the food. So in layman's terms, it's going to turn brown. To stop that, I have a pot of cold water that I'm going to put those cut up potatoes in to stop them from browning. Plus, having this in the pot helps because it's the same pot we're going to be utilizing during the cooking process. Once those potatoes are all cut up, I'm going to place the pot on the stove on medium heat and boil the potatoes until they're fork tender. Now, once I determine that they're fork tender, obviously by using a fork, I'll simply drain the potatoes of any remaining liquid and let them sit in the colander for a bit to lose any water that's left. Then once that water is drained, add the potatoes back to that same pot, keeping the heat on the lowest setting. And now it's time to mash it. I'm using a simple masher to get the job done, and I'll be doing this for a few minutes just to make sure that every potato is properly smashed. This also prevents your potatoes from tasting super lumpy. And because we're using a masher, it helps to take away some of that roughness from the skins as well. Now, most folks will say add hot milk and heavy cream to the pot to get the best mashed potatoes, but for me, I don't want to make too much milk or too little milk and not have the right consistency. So what I do is that I take a little bit of milk and a little bit of heavy cream at a time and add it to the pot slowly, mixing with a plastic spatula or spoon to combine those potatoes. Now keep in mind that these potatoes are still hot, so it's perfectly fine to add the milk and cream as it will warm up as it's mixed. Once those potatoes start to get a little bit thicker, add some salt and taste as you add so that you don't have to overseason these potatoes. Now you're going to form a well in the center of your potatoes like so with your spoon and add about a tablespoon of garlic paste or 2 whole cloves of minced garlic. Toast that a bit to deepen that flavor and then begin to get it all mixed together with the potatoes. Continue to add the milk a little bit at a time. By now you should have a slightly thick but loose consistency, and this is perfect. Add a tablespoon or so of some sour cream, and this is going to help add a little bit of tanginess to the potatoes that cuts right through that rich butter and milk combination. Once you get that mixed in, add a few tablespoons of butter. I'm using unsalted butter because there's going to be a lot of salt from the sour cream and the salt from earlier. Now this is done at this point, but to add a little bit more razzle dazzle, we're going to sprinkle in some shredded Parmesan to take this dish to the next level. Mix it all together until that cheese melts and let it sit while we get our green beans ready. Now green beans don't take too much effort to make, but with a few small techniques, these will help your green beans go from ordinary to extraordinary. First, I add a half a stick of butter to the pan on medium heat. Now as that butter starts to melt and the pan gets hot, I'm tossing in a whole tablespoon of garlic paste. Let that toast in the butter, and also we're going to break down a whole chicken bouillon cube. Simply take any bag of frozen green beans and toss them into the pan and just mix them in with that garlic bouillon butter mixture. And a major key to this recipe, vegetable seasoning. You won't have great vegetables until you add this crucial ingredient to the mix. Now mix everything until those beans are coated, mixing occasionally as they cook. Do this until your green beans are nice and tender, still remaining green, but the texture is a bit firm but soft. This should take about 7 or 10 minutes. Now your green beans are done, my friends. It's time to assemble our plate. Start with a few heavy spoons of those thick mashed potatoes and then add as much green beans as you desire. I like green beans, so I added a heaping spoonful of those, followed by that gorgeous looking chicken thigh, and I mean, look at that color. This is the perfect Sunday dinner if you ask me. Easy to make, affordable, and something the whole family will love. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Sunday Dinner. Remember to subscribe to this page for recipes just like these, and join us every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an easy Sunday dinner recipe and some fun facts behind the food that you eat. Remember, there's always a seat at the table as long as you show love to the kitchen. Thanks for watching, and until the next time we feast, peace.